Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Game Time YouTube channel. My name is Joe, and I am your host. Let's get right to it. K-State football, guys. K-State versus Houston post-game analysis. K-State gets the blowout win this week. All right, winning by the final score of 41-0. Shutout. All right, shutout, guys. That moves K-State to 4-1 in Big 12 play, 6-2 overall. And K-State is now bowl eligible. Okay. K-State thoroughly dominated this game from start to finish. All right. And I think what we saw senior quarterback Will Howard pretty much reassert himself as the number one QB on this team. We thought we might see Avery Johnson again, kind of that QB rotation between him and Will Howard. But I think a quick turnover by Avery Johnson late in the first quarter led to the coaching staff, I think, just going with Howard for most of the game. Not to mention Howard just was really doing well in the offense, really doing well leading the offense, moving the offense down the field. Howard went 15 of 17 passing the ball, 164 yards with 2 touchdowns. Averaged a whopping 9.6 yards per pass. Okay, that's almost a first down every pass. So very, very efficient, did very well in the passing game in this game. He was very effective and very accurate. All right, he hit first 12 passes in the game before he saw his first incompletion. So did a very good job. I think the offense was really dialed up in this game, especially to start the game. And K-State was really rolling, really rolling to start this game. Again, we saw the rushing attack prominent in this game. All right, 24 pass attempts versus 46 rushing attempts. DJ Giddens starred in the running game for this game. 13 carries for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he also caught a couple of passes for 25 yards. Treshaun Ward did well. All right, he had 10 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown. And I like to combine these two guys' stats because, in my opinion, they're really rushing as one running back. I think that's how they're used quite a bit in the games. So combined, that's 23 carries for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. So the running backs did very well in this game. Houston had a really hard time stopping the rushing game from the running back's perspective. So we saw a lot less QB run in this game. I think Will Howard maybe ran 9 times for, maybe a handful of yards, maybe 25 or 30 yards, but it simply just wasn't necessary. The running backs were effective. The running backs did an excellent job at rushing the ball. K-State clicking on all cylinders on offense. I really believe that it's mainly because they figured out their offensive identity. I really think they have. And to me, that identity is, I think it starts with a very physical rushing attack, using the strength of that offensive line. All right, I think starting the season, we knew that the offensive line had a lot of experience. We knew that was going to be a strength of this offense. And I think getting into the season now, we're seeing that that is really coming to pass. Offensive line, a huge strength for this offense. And so that kind of starts things with our identity as that physical rushing attack, starting up front with that O-line. Then I think the second thing that we're doing well is we've got the passing game, but we're going with the underneath routes. We're trying to exploit the linebackers in coverage, and I think we're really forcing defenses to execute sound tackling consistently. Otherwise, they're going to pay the price with a high number of yards after the catch, which is, I think, what we're seeing a lot of. The evidence of that is our leading receiver in this game was Phillip Brooks. 5 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. To me, those underneath routes, they're really an extension of the running game. And you hear that a lot. You hear a lot of the talking heads, say that a lot. And it's true, especially if the opposing D line is strong and they're really holding your running backs up at the line of scrimmage. Those quick underneath passes, it really gets those guys out in open space. It kind of gets them away from that D line and into the open field. and to preferably deal with defensive backs and linebackers instead of that D line. And so that's, I think, a way that K-State extends from running the ball with the pass, but with the shorter passes. And, I think what that does is, once you get that rushing attack, if that rushing attack is working and those underneath passes are working as well, that's going to force your defenders to come closer up to the line of scrimmage. Okay. And boom, once that happens, you're opening up your deeper routes for the big play potential. All right. And we've got a great weapon in Will Hubbard, the quarterback, that can exploit that. Okay. With his accuracy and his ability to throw the ball. So I think that's really K-State's identity. And they've really identified that game plan, and they've played very well with that game plan, especially these last few games. It's a really nice game plan given the strengths of this personnel. All right. Again, that strong offensive line. Okay. We've got really good tight ends. Okay. And a really good slot receiver in Phillip Brooks that can really do well at catching passes, those underneath passes, and getting those yards after the catch. Our running backs are doing very well at that as well. Catching the balls out coming from the backfield. So that's a really good strength for this team. And I think we see our offensive coordinators really exploiting that. The defense, okay. Defense is really beginning to find its stride this year. Okay. They played very, very well in this game. Held Houston to only 208 yards of offense. Okay. Houston's averaging somewhere around 383 yards per game. This defense in this game held them to 208 yards. Okay. Only 95 passing yards. That's huge. It's very nice to see. I think our secondary is playing a lot better. I think our defensive line is playing a lot better. And I think you're seeing the result of that in these stats. Only 95 passing yards. That's a shutdown. They shut this passing game down completely. All right. 113 rushing yards. Okay. That's, shut this offense completely down in this game. Only one play by Houston went for over 20 yards. Okay. It was a 25-yard pass at the end of the third quarter. And that drive actually ended in a turnover on downs, a failed 4th and 8. So this defense just they were dialed in. They came to play. If you account for the last two games, the last one being versus TCU, and this game, the K-State defense has only allowed 3 points. Okay, only 3 points, nearly a shutout. All right, defense playing well. Some improvements that I see in this defense. Very physical tackling. I think you saw that in this game. I think the safeties came up and tackled very well. The linebackers tackled very well, very aggressive physical tackling. I think that's what we need to see. And I think that's an improvement that I've seen over the past couple of games. Much better pass coverage in the secondary. D-backs are getting a little healthier. I think they were dinged up a bit for the last few games. So I think guys like Jacob Parrish, Will Lee, okay, they're back in the lineup and healthy. And so I think we're seeing the result of that with much better pass coverage in the secondary. And then I think we're getting a lot more pressure on the quarterback. Especially in this game, I think we really harassed the quarterback in this game, forced him into some bad throws, really hurried him up. There were several tackles for loss in this game. And then I think we had a couple of sacks in there. We had one interception. So put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I think the defensive line is playing a lot better. Some key stats in this game, some things to kind of look at here. Third down efficiency. Okay, K-State goes 10 of 14 on third downs. Okay, that's incredible. That's an incredible percentage. All right, Houston 3 of 14. So this is a testament to the defense has simply shut this offense down. They are getting off the field for third downs. They are punting almost every drive. Okay, at this rate. Okay, and K-State's moving the ball here, 10 of 14 on third down efficiency. So we're getting there. All right. Penalties. Okay, very, very clean game from K-State here. Only one penalty for 5 yards. Houston had 6 penalties for 60. But the key here is that K-State played a very, very penalty-free game. Very, very good to see. I think it shows that guys are very disciplined. Guys kind of understand what their role is, what they're doing. That's a stat that kind of shows that. Very few mistakes. Guys are really understanding what to do. Okay. Time of possession. Okay. K-State 34 minutes, 34 seconds, and Houston only had the ball for 25 minutes, 26 seconds. Okay. So, this is, and I've said this before, okay, when you have a strong running game, you're going to win time of possessions. Okay. This is just going to happen. You're running the ball. Your drives are very long. Okay. You're going to win the time of possession game if you're able to run the ball well. And K-State is doing that. And I think that's what we're seeing. It's been a recipe for K-State's success of late. Okay. Very good game, very strong game. All right. K-State looked very, very strong in this game. So next week, okay, big game next week versus number 7 Texas in Texas. Okay, that game is at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Huge game for K-State. All right. With Oklahoma losing this week to KU. All right, we've got no undefeated teams in the Big 12 right now. Okay, so we've got this log jam of one-loss teams all at the top of this league. And, K-State's got to win out to get to the Big 12 championship. Okay, we're probably going to see 2 one-loss teams in the Big 12 championship. And, K-State's got to win out to be one of them, to hopefully control their own destiny. And this coming up week is huge. It's a huge game in Texas. I think K-State is primed to take this one. The Texas is, they just beat BYU this past week, like 36-35 to 3 or something like that. Strong performance from them. But Texas has their backup quarterback in right now. And their starting QB probably won't be back for a couple of few games. So they're going to be playing K-State with their backup quarterback. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. K-State is peaking at the right time, though. I must say, K-State's looking really, really good right now. And I think K-State is primed to take this game. They got to come in ready and dialed in. Got to be dialed in. It's a must-win game. Big game, must-win. In fact, every other game this year is a must-win, to be honest with you. So, every other game is going to have this same importance to it. This one's just huge, obviously, because it's number 7, Texas, and it's an away game. I think the next away game is at KU, and the rest of our games are at home. So this is a big one, must win. Okay. So next game, Texas, coming up this coming Saturday. And we'll see how it goes. But K-State thumps Houston in this game. Wasn't even close. Very, very strong performance. And we're ready to keep the ball rolling here. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening.